morning. That's right, camera. It is April 23rd, Friday. So again, this repeated theme of my videos coming out and kind of being in sync with MJ's morning message. Not all the time, but most of the time. And the one this morning resonated very loudly. And it was really what I needed. I went yesterday, it was a pretty easygoing day, and I chose not to post anything, just going with the flow really, and treating myself to little things, right? Little joys. And just really being in the moment, living in the moment, and had some work that I brought home to do from the studio, and just being mindful of balance and making sure that with this new opportunity I stay balanced, and that's something that I'm really highlighting with this potential partner of mine, and making sure that we stay balanced in everything that we do, especially when life happens, and it's funny. It's just funny. I went to bed. I stayed up, and I watched a few rom-coms, just, it's been a while, and I'm like, yeah, let's just watch some movies, and romance and girl stuff, and just kind of just sitting with myself, and I indulged in snacks, and I was like, okay, I just indulged, even though I worked out. I was gonna work out when I got home, and it just didn't work out that way, and I was gonna work out this morning, that didn't work out, so I was like, okay, I just go with the flow, right? But there was a part of me that, I think I mentioned it in one of the recent videos about just this longingness of wanting to be embraced, and yesterday there was a sense of peace in just knowing that it was me and myself, right? My higher self, and that embrace that I felt, the energetic embrace that I felt a couple nights ago, and asking myself, like, can I ask for it again? And do I really want to ask for it again? And, and just questions that I'm asking myself through this process, because, trying to not be afraid of this energy that clearly is all around. And so there's this knowing of, like, I'm not alone, and but anyways, just reflecting on the connections that I'm making, new connections, and making time for these new connections, as busy as it's getting in my schedule, and making sure that I stay balanced too, and attending to, again, watering my own grass, right? And the videos that keep repeating, or the videos that I've posted recently, it's the same theme, right? This repetition of a pattern, and in these last few days, MJ is highlighting, right, what I suspected, which is they're repeating because we need to do something different, or to be more aware, make sure we don't fall back into old patterns, right? And so these two videos that I'm posting on today, because I didn't post any yesterday, so these two that I'm posting on today speak to that, to choices, and to balance, and and so MJ's message, so I went to bed a little, you know, like, is this where I'm supposed to be, right? I'm still questioning, like, I know I'm on the right track, but at the same time, there's a little bit of, a little bit of worry of like, am I really on the right track, right? I had Spain in mind, and that was it for a while, and now this other opportunity came up that I mentioned, that I'm taking new opportunities if I feel like, not necessarily a pull, but just like, hey, this is an opportunity. Like, just being aware that these are opportunities, and I don't want to miss out on opportunities, right? And making that choice, and reminding myself that even if I make that choice, I can always change my mind if things become unbalanced. And I received that validation this morning too, with MJ's morning message, which I'll include the link, because I feel like this one is really speaking to my purpose. Because it just is, and it's speaking to what I wrote in the description box for my videos that I posted, and so there's this realization, right, in terms of how I've shifted my life and making different choices for myself, and saying goodbye to certain relationships, or accepting relationships as they are. The video that I just finished working on was on moving forward with moving forward to live, choose, and die with dignity, and really stressing the importance of how our choices, right, are important, and you know, who we choose to listen to, and you know, how aware we choose to be of ourselves, you know, to sit with ourselves, to really be honest with ourselves and hold that mirror up for ourselves, and ask ourselves, like, am I really living an authentic life, my authentic life? Am I repeating patterns? What, you know, why do I keep attracting the same type of person in my life, right? Why do I feel like I'm always surrounded with this situation or with that situation? And really asking ourselves those difficult questions, right? And oftentimes we don't want to do that, or we don't have the time, right? We don't make the time to reflect, to just sit with ourselves and our thoughts. Or maybe culturally, in society and religion, we're told how to do things, what to think of, right? To not question. Or what to question. And so this reliance on others for answers when we have the answers within, when we learn to trust ourselves. So anyways, that was still not what I was going to talk about. But it was really more focused on this realization, right? With what MJ highlighted to be a purpose for someone that I initially felt was my purpose back last fall, and connecting with that. Just I hear him like that's me. That's my mission. That's, you know, of course, many me's, right? Of living a life that's different, choosing a different path, and overcoming these challenges within myself, within my mindset, within my heart space, right? To be more aligned and in tune with me. And how my energy is now then showing. You know, I mentioned that my sister had noticed that I'm much more happier. Is that, can you say happy, much more happier? No, you can't say that. Happier is already with the more. That I'm happier in my situation. Not to say that I wasn't happy before, but this is just energetically a different frequency. I'm attracting things, right? Like I had mentioned to her this opportunity, and she was so happy for me. And I reached out to my brother about a project that I wanted to dabble into, and see if he wanted to help me with it, related to the studio. Once I speak to the owners, and we connected in the sense of like, and it happened to be right after that realization of one of my recent videos of where I'm like, oh, I always wondered if I could make it in the art in downtown, not necessarily in the art district, but just in that world. And now having the opportunity, right, that video I recorded a month ago, and now I'm like, oh wow, I actually have the opportunity, and I took the opportunity, and I'm now working in the art district, and really testing that, right? And he mentioned that there was he remembers being in downtown. He remembers when he was younger with his friends, and the energy that he felt. He said it's just different. He's like, it felt good. And I was just like, yeah, it does. Like he's like, I don't think you understand, or something like that. He's like, I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm like, no, you are. I'm like, because it's a different feel. It's a different feel from what we're used to, and I feel it, and I am grateful for it, the opportunity to try it out, right? To see if this fits, and all the signs are. I'm seeing the signs, right? I'm seeing the balance and the synchronicities that I'm on the right track. And I think the insecurity just comes in just making sure I stay balanced with this new opportunity, right? To not over offer or over invest without giving myself a break, or without being, without that reciprocal flow of energy input and your energy output, right? So yesterday I stayed up reflecting on the day, and reflecting on that contact with my brother, and how we were both in sync in terms of feeling the energy from downtown, and just this realization, right, of how I got here. And then another coincidence, in one of the videos I mentioned being inspired by one of my aunts in terms of writing, and that's come up again for me. And yesterday it came up again, and to look at children's books again, right? And I have these ideas, and so I went to go pick up my mail, the post office, I have a P.O. box. And I get a message from my aunt, the same aunt that I recently reconnected with in this time in my life, and she sends me this lovely little gift, and she says, Yubi, it's spring in the valley, and a lady always has her handkerchief ready in her pocket. And she gives me little handkerchiefs, and I thought that was so lovely. And the movie that I watched yesterday was during that time period when ladies had handkerchiefs in their pocket. And it happened to be a movie that also talked about children's books. So I thought that was really neat. To just the synchronicity of that falling into place. And yeah, being inspired. Continuing to be inspired. But it's 9 o'clock. I need to go eat and head out to the art district. It's Friday, so I'm hoping for a slow pace this weekend. There's just this need for slow, for things to be slow. And yeah, so. Oh, I meditate. That's also why I want to. I meditated and I saw the light and the purple light again, and there was movement, but there was no significant pattern of movement. It was just all around, very softly, and yeah, just, I think the only thing that was really clear was from the bottom coming up, not all the way up, but it started off like that, and then it just kind of moved all over. So for me, it felt like validation that I'm on the right track, that I'm still aligned. Yeah. So that's where I'm at today. That's it. Hope you guys have a good weekend, or whenever this falls for you. And yeah, until next time. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way, just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.